special good morning to all the beautiful people in Dominica. Hi, hello, good morning. This is Talking Tourism, and my name is Monelle Alexis. And it's my absolute pleasure to be your host this morning on Talking Tourism. And this morning, I have some exceptional news for you. Guess what, guys? Dominica has been listed in the 20 best honeymoon destinations for the dreamiest trip you'll ever take. And that's according to Reader's Digest in an article dated June 11th, 2024. And guess what they said? They said Dominica is best for the outdoorsy types. So not to be confused with the Dominican Republic, Dominica is an often overlooked and under-visited Caribbean gem. But the aptly dubbed Nature Island, with its volcanoes, 12 waterfalls, natural coastal hot tubs, secret coves, black sand beaches, freshwater streams, and lush rainforests, deserves serious consideration from outdoorsy couples, especially those who love scuba diving and hiking. Plus, now that American Airlines runs a direct flight from Miami several times a week, it's even easier to get to this Eden on the edge of the Atlantic. So guess what? There's several things to do when you come to Dominica for that romantic experience. Yes, you can visit one of our 14 segments of the Waitukubuli National Trail. You can also visit the 14th segment of the Sea Kayaking Trail, and that is the Waitukubuli Trail. And the Sufria Outdoor Center can coordinate equipment, guides, lodging, and experience stops, which includes snorkeling, river surfing, etc. So whether couples want to tackle the whole trail or just a specific portion, guess what? Dominica is the place to be. And guys, in studio with me right now, we have people from the Waitukubuli National Trail, Waitukubuli Sea Trail, here with us in studio. So you want a romantic getaway? You just want to experience Dominica? You want to have some fun in the water and check out the marine life? Guess what? You're in the right place, in Dominica. And with me in studio, I have some awesome people. Let's talk the Waitukubuli Sea Trail in Dominica, right here on Talking Tourism. I'm going to bring in our guests in studio. I have three gentlemen with me in studio this morning. Anybody can go first. Good morning to you guys in studio number 2. What's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning, Dominica.
Okay, so we heard good morning, Dominica. But we don't know the names of the good morning, Dominica. So guys, please introduce yourselves, your name, where you're from. And we know that you're part of the Waitukubuli Sea Trail group, the Sufria Outdoor Center. But tell persons something about you that you want them to remember. Yes?
I'm Freddie from Sufria, born and raised. Freddie Mackie Packet from Sufria, born and raised. And one of the guides at the outdoor center. So in my spare time, I'm a fisherman, so I know a lot of different fishes and experience with the sea. So that's what I can give to some of my guests, and they would love it.
Awesome. Freddie, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We go to the man in the center. Hello, man in the center.
Hello and good morning. I'm Weston Moses. I'm the owner of the Sufria Outdoor Center, and I'm a self-taught kayaker. I taught myself to kayak in Jamaica about 20 years ago, and I've been kayaking Caribbean coastlines wherever I can ever since.
Ooh, how far have you reached?
Well, I've done about half the length of Jamaica.
Wow.
I've done a lot of the coast of St. Lucia. In the Grenadines, I've been around Union Island. I've been in the Bahamas, in the Exuma Islands. I've been in parts of Grenada, and then, of course, all over Dominica.
Awesome. So we have a fisherman, a kayaker, and you, sir, your name, please?
So my name is Kerry Allen. Good morning once again to everybody. I am local from the village of Sufria, who started pretty much my journey in tourism at the age of 16 when I started working at a local dive center called Nature Island Dive, and I'm one of few people from my community who have been very heavily investing into the time to learn all of the diving logistics and being a guide, and willing this time in my life to actually give back and train some of the young people from my community. So that's basically where I am today, basically.
And I commend you for that. Giving back is awesome. It's great to volunteer. Not just help people, but you feel a sense of pride when you give back, and you help develop the community. So kudos to you for that, Mr. Fisherman, my kayaker, and my avid trainer. Thank you very much, and welcome to Talking Tourism. And we're talking the Waitukubuli Sea Trail. I want to say good morning to all the folks tuning in on radio, those of you live with us on the Ministry of Tourism Facebook page, and those of you live with us on on DBS Radio Facebook page. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and I do hope that you guys have had a wonderful start to your day. So this morning is all about the Waitukubuli Sea Trail, and we're going to learn all about the sea trail, where it's from, the different segments, what to do, who has participated in the sea trail, the different success stories, and we're going to look at how you can get to the sea trail. Because remember, Dominica is all about the romance and the adventure. So we promote adventure tourism. You like adventure? Come to Dominica. You want something romantic? Come to Dominica. You're looking for anything? You need to come to Dominica. That's the tagline. So we're talking Waitukubuli Sea Trail. And guys, my first question for you this morning is this. Can you tell us what inspired you to create the Waitukubuli Sea Trail?
Yeah, well, I think the inspiration came from the circumnavigation of Dominica, which Carrie and I did about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We've been kayaking together for quite a long time, and we set a pretty large goal to go all the way around the island.
Wow.
Now, it took a lot of planning, and my background is in project management, so I enjoy that. I enjoy the planning aspect of it, but I enjoy more being out there on the sea. And it just gave us such a rich sense of adventure, because we didn't do it the first time around. On our third attempt, we did it.
Yeah.
We had 2 other attempts where we ran into some challenges. We learned a lot of lessons, and we were able to culminate all of that together to make sure that they say the third time's the charm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the third time really worked out for us. But we like to use the term adventure tourism with our tours, because the minute you leave land and you go out on the sea, it's always an adventure.
Yes.
Even if it's calm, it's an adventure.
True.
If the
I
winds
agree.
pick up, it's definitely an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So, Carrie and I did this trip, and Carrie can speak some more about it, but it was really truly was an incredible adventure, being out there, particularly on the Atlantic side and those big swells. And the challenge with the Atlantic side is that there's just not a lot of safe landings for a sea kayak. So when you leave from one destination to another, you're pretty committed. Now, we can land in some areas where there's heavy surf, but it's very technical. So that's the thing. You have to have the certain skill set in case you do need to bail out to be able to do a pretty technical landing in an area like Rosalie with heavy surf, which we actually did. And then there are ways to do like where there's small, I wouldn't say cliffs, but rocky ledges. There are different techniques to do that as well. So Carrie and I really worked together for several months preparing for this. And when we got back, it was just this incredible experience that we wanted to be able to share with others, but not everybody can get in a kayak and spend months preparing to kayak around Dominica. In comparison, the Caribbean coast is much more manageable to your average person. The sea isn't as rough. The surf landings are infrequent, but there. And so the inspiration came from that. And not only the circumnavigation, but Freddie took an expedition with us from Grand Bay around the southern tip of Dominica to Soufriere in some pretty big conditions.
Really.
And that sense of adventure and that sense of awe on those remote parts of Dominica are pretty incredible. So I'll let them speak a little bit more about those experiences.
Yeah, well, as Wes said, the idea pretty much came when we did that circumnavigation, and it was amazing to see so many different places on the east coast of the island that people don't really get a chance to visit because there's no roads. So accessibility wise, a lot of people can't get to these places, and with an ocean kayak, especially the ones that we operate with, they're specifically designed for individuals to actually get to those places. And as Wes also said, that he has done a few crossings and managed to kayak different islands. And that's part of the goal here, is that Dominica gets recognition not only for its natural sites that are on land, but for a lot of cascading waterfalls that people don't regularly get to see along the coastal areas, and visiting a few communities which are fishing communities where they have different fishing practices, and it's just overall an authentic natural experience for everyone. So we wanted to pretty much get that incorporated into the sea trail, and on the west coast of the island it is possible for people to actually go from end to end along the coast of the island, and get to experience all of these wonderful things. So it's an amazing experience for everybody.
That's awesome. What about you, Maki?
Yeah, well, we experienced that from Granby to Soufriere. We had a few people from Canada, and the waves we encounter, it's like when you're out there, your paddle have to be your friend. You don't have to let off. If you do, you're gonna flip over. So we would train people first before we get them out there. But we were being trained from the people that came from Canada, and it was like an experience where my first time kayaking in the Atlantic, it have waves we met, I would say almost 7 feet. So it's like when you go down, you're not seeing anyone around you. So you have to stay focused
and pray, right?
Yeah.
So it's a nice experience. It's like when we did that and then we entered into Squad Z, it was like we came from a different place.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. So
And
I know you'll have people that would enjoy, but they have to be well experienced to go out there.
Yeah.
all right, so basically it's for everyone, but there are different segments that persons can participate in. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the Atlantic side is definitely for the intermediate and advanced kayakers, whereas the Caribbean side provides that same sense of awe and adventure, but in a very safe environment. So we've guided people from Scott said all the way to Capuchin, who have only kayaked twice in their life.
Oh, wow.
And so that shows you that it's accessible. But to me, their feeling of accomplishment and sense of awe is the same that we had on that trip Freddie's talking about, on the circumnavigation that Carrie's talking about. When you talk about the blue economy, I think the Sea Trail really taps into the blue economy
Yeah.
in Dominica, because sea kayaking is very accessible. You don't, scuba diving, you have to go through a lot of courses and those types of things. Free diving is out there also, but people may be intimidated by depth or equalization, these things. Sea kayaking makes the sea very accessible to everyone.
Yep.
And that's what we love about sea kayaking. It gets people in touch with the sea, and it really gives you a good workout. You're out there in the fresh air.
So we're
There's
talking
plenty
fitness.
of stretches on the Caribbean coast
Yeah.
where there's nobody around. I mean, even as something from Soufriere to Champagne Beach, that is an incredible stretch, segment 2 of the Sea Trail. There's no roads, there's no houses. Further up north, there's quite a few stretches like that as well.
Okay, so that's wonderful. Earlier you spoke about your different backgrounds. Pray tell, how does your background influence your work with the Waitakabuli Sea Trail? Freddie.
Oh, my back. Well, I would say fishing. So it's like I would know, like, strong winds. Like if we taking people out and the wind is really strong, because I've been on the sea trail with a few people and we came across some strong winds where we weren't going anywhere. So all we had to do is just go to the coastline, spend a few hours waiting for the wind to die down.
Mm-hmm.
If it don't, I will have to tow some people in, like maybe get one in, come back, get back in. So it's like just being out there with people. You have to make sure they're safe so we could bring back people at their home.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
that's the main thing, safety first. We brought up people that cannot swim and they were feeling 100% safe. So it's like we would know where to go, know the different reefs to take people, snorkel, and then just tell them a few things about Dominica that we know, I know, and all that.
All right, you touched on safety, but I asked you a question earlier.
Mhm.
Let's go into safety and then back to the question about your background, how it influenced your work.
Okay.
You mentioned that there are different things that you do to ensure that persons are safe.
Mhm.
And people going out there into the sea trail, it's exciting, adventurous, yes,
Yeah.
but there's a question mark on whether or not they will be safe in the water, especially persons like me who cannot swim but like doing things I should not be doing.
Mhm.
You know, so let's
I
let's
would
talk
say-
about safety.
Mhm.
What is in play with the Waitakere Sea Trail to ensure that persons like myself and others feel safe from the time they meet you to the time they get off the kayak and return to their space?
Okay, so safety first, we have life vests. So we won't send anyone out without a life vest.
It's mandatory.
100%. If we don't, that would be a problem for us, and people might do what they have to do. So it's like before we take people out, certain time we take out people that cannot swim. So we would stay on the coastline, train. Like the sea touring kayaks, they are a bit teepee. So for people that just starting kayaking like the first time, we would like stay close to the shoreline. That people that would turn over. So now to make sure that they would feel safe, they cannot swim, we would be right by their side. So we would do a few rescues on the shoreline to make sure that they get it. So when we're out there, anytime they tip, they will know what to do. Because the sea touring kayaks is like you have to slide yourself out. If you don't, and then we have spray skirts. So if you don't, you're gonna be struggling under the water upside down.
Okay, pause a while. You said sea touring kayaks. Okay, so let's think kayaks. The one persons know we're familiar with are the ones that are open-ended. So there's an
So those
open,
are seat on tops.
that's a sit on tops.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one where you can fit your entire bottom
Sea touring.
into the kayak. So
Yeah.
there are two types that you offer,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And where safety is concerned, you're speaking on the one that you get to fit from your waist down into the kayak
Yeah.
and how to remove yourself safely from it.
Yeah.
So you do a training program at the start so persons would understand how to remove themselves
Yeah.
in the event that they are tipped over.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And if I just may add what to what Fred is saying, the sea touring kayaks are the kayaks that we use along the sea trail. They, as I mentioned, they are the ones better suited for long distance trips and in conditions where the waves might be a little bit too high, or if you have strong wind, these kayaks are designed for them to actually help you along your journey. Very light, easy to maneuver as long as you have the different skills. And as Freddie also said, that we train people prior to getting on into the kayaks and on the water. So by the time everyone, even if you're a beginner, by the time you get on the water, you feel comfortable, you feel safe, and you feel reassured that you're safe because the guides are always within sight, and they'll always keep an eye on you and always check on you, ask you questions, and basically we do that on a daily basis along the sea trail.
Okay, so
And
great.
the sea touring kayaks are quite interesting because the longer the boat you have, the longer water line you have, so it moves faster. So
Oh.
our sea touring kayaks are anywhere from 16 to 18 feet long.
Wow.
And they can store a lot of gear inside them.
As well.
And there's some safety features on them. They have deck lines all out, so if you fall out of your boat, you can grab onto it. If I need to go check on somebody, I can grab onto their deck line, stabilize their boat. And then with their paddles, we can even tether their paddles to them or their kayak so that if they drop their paddle, it won't blow away. There's we all wear tow ropes, and so the sea touring boats are fantastic. On flat water, they might we keep on saying they feel a little tippy. They have initial stability and secondary stability. So on flat water, they feel a little tippy and you're like this, but as soon as the wave picks up,
You're moving.
that boat feels as solid as can be, because that's what these boats are made for. They're made to be out on the waves, the wind waves, the swell. That's what they love. When they're in flat water, they're like, let's get some action going here. So those are the types of boats we have, and the boats we have are all fiberglass too, which makes them even more high performance. So a lot of kayakers are out there seeking, performance boats for a trip like this. And then I also want to add on safety. We have a really good partnership with the Coast Guard. I got to big them up.
Awesome.
Because what we do is we submit a float plan. So at the beginning of the 6-day trip, we tell how many participants are on it. We have the guides, the guide phone numbers. We check in with them by WhatsApp in the morning, say this is our plan. They've already received the plan by email. When we stop for lunch, we might say, hey, we're at Layu for lunch. And then when we reach our destination, said, hey, we're here. And a couple of times when there's been big winds and stuff, and they're out anyways, making their rounds, and they happen to be by us, they'll come in, check on us, and then and take off. So that really gives our guests a strong sense of safety to see that type of commitment from the government here to their well-being. So we really got to big them up. It's been a great partnership.
Definitely.
All right, so awesome. So we're confirming that along the Whitey-Kubuli Sea Trail, kayaking is safe with the team at the Soufriere Outdoor Center. Excellent.
100%.
So you mentioned the two different types of kayak, the one that you can fit into and the other rowing ones, right?
Sit-on tops, yeah.
The sit-on tops. So so there's options for individuals or for groups, correct? Or pairs to kayak together. So if you're out there, you want to kayak, don't think like, okay, you're going to kayak, you must do it by yourself if you want to have a partner. Remember I mentioned romance earlier, guys? Yes. Yes, let's go back to that. It's not a situation where your partner is on one kayak and you're on the other one. You're rowing together, making some good memories, maybe a champagne, talk to Weston, maybe get some champagne while you're at it. Create the whole experience. They got you. We got
definitely.
you.
The sea trail is definitely part of that experience if people want to come to the island for a romantic experience. Because last year we actually had a proposal during one of our kayaking trips, So this gentleman for that Dominica was the perfect location, the perfect place for him to propose to his wife.
Aww.
Well, his new
Fiancé.
His fiancé, but no, his wife now. But they pretty much surprised us, and it just goes to show that we are more than just an island that has a lot of natural features, where people as well. We have so much culture, history, all of that, and I mean, everywhere you go is breathtaking views. And as long as the people feel comfortable, they'll feel like this is home away from home, and they might want to experience something like this, just a proposal, maybe coming down to celebrate somebody's, maybe a great-grandparent 90th birthday or something, and do a trip with us, something outside of the box. And Soufriere Outdoor Center, and the Sea Trail that we have established is one of those opportunities that people can find to pretty much do stuff like that. If you want to go on a romantic journey with your partner, we can definitely accommodate that. We can pretty much get you into the best accommodations with, just treatment that, just to spoil people. That's what we would say, because everything that we do is we try to go the extra mile to ensure that people are safe and they have a real authentic time. So it's really nice.
We had 2 trips where 2 couples contacted us, and they scheduled special trips, so it would just be them. They didn't want any other outside participants or anything like that. And they just loved the sunsets. They loved snorkeling together. And they had an incredible time.
And the most important thing is selling the experience.
Yes.
Experience sells. So people come into Dominica, they want to enjoy themselves, they want to laugh, they want to smile, they want to understand that, I'm coming to the Waitakubuli Sea Trail. If I want a champagne added to my tour, if I want to propose over the water, that you guys can sort them out. And I'm happy to hear that you can do all these things to create that lovely experience for persons. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But before we went into all of that, we were talking about your background and how it influenced your work with the Waitakubuli National Trail. We heard from Freddie. Let's go to Kerry and then to Weston.
Okay, so my background basically started, as I said, in my community of Soufriere, where I grew up, and there was always a passion for being out, at sea. We would do that every time school closes, and we grew up around the bay. Basically, we would sometimes not be seen for an entire day by our parents. We would just roast fish, just do all of these activities, and it has just been part of the community. As any fishing community, you will actually see a lot of the children near the shoreline just bathing on a daily basis. And getting involved in tourism pretty much expanded some of my knowledge and experience being in the bay, and it led me to become a warden, where I studied a lot of conservation work being done in the Marine Reserve, basically trying to instill new fishing habits that are sustainable, within the fishing community, and that would actually provide future generations with more opportunities to go out there and fish so that they could provide for their families. And it has been a journey where I have gathered all this information, also having to have a certificate in coral reef monitoring.
Good job.
And also having to be a certified tour guide together with Wes and Freddie. All of this pretty much fits in perfectly to what we're trying to accomplish today. So my background definitely started at a point where I didn't know anything, and now I believe that I am still learning. We are never too old to learn, but I do have a vast amount of information and knowledge along with Wes and Freddie that when we put it together, we feel like we are a very, very strong team and we complement each other. Yeah.
And I commend you for investing in yourself.
Thank you very
That's
much.
awesome.
Thank you.
Weston, let's go. Your background. I
Okay.
know you're an all-rounder, but let's talk about what part of your background would have molded you into being right here with the Waitakubuli Sea Trail.
Okay, my background is that I I grew up doing adventurous stuff. From I was a young kid, my father had me snow skiing in elementary school. He had me rock climbing right after elementary school.
Oh.
He had me outdoor camping all the time. So when I do things like cross the St. Lucia Channel in a kayak, or I did a solo circumnavigation of Dominica, some people think I'm crazy, but to me it just feels natural. I don't see myself doing anything else. I wish I could do it full time, but I have to work to fund my habits. But I came to the Caribbean in 1997 as a Peace Corps volunteer. So I lived in rural Jamaica.
And you never went back. You never went back.
And I never went back.
You see, you made good decisions. You see, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know how to make good decisions in life.
That's
Good
right.
job, Weston. Good job.
I never went back. So I've been here since 97, and I've done project management and kayaking, and all those skills came together to pull this together. I was doing international development with USAID and US Peace Corps. So trying to give back to the nation with the Sea Trail, I think comes naturally because of the service and the type of work I did. It was always, giving to the countries that, serving the countries that I was operating in. So for me now, being in a private business as opposed to on the donor side of things, I still have this sense of giving back and building community. And I made sure that my team members came here today with me to talk because I couldn't do it without them. And I think all of our backgrounds, like Carrie was saying, it's all very complementary. We're always learning from each other, and we have a real strong team.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Sea Trail more in depth. What is the length of the Waitakere Sea Trail? Are there different segments to the trail? What segment is best for beginners, or are there beginners, intermediate, advanced? I know you mentioned the Atlantic side is excellent or for more suited for intermediate persons, but let's talk some more details.
Yeah, so we market it as 66 kilometers, and you'll note that that's longer than the length of Dominica. So the rationale for that is because a lot of times, excuse me, especially when we're going in high winds, we have to follow the contour of Dominica. So we're following every nook and cranny, and a lot of times, we want to go in that cove and explore that. There may be a little sea cave we go into.
Up in the Indian River.
And we might want to go up the Indian River. We may want to go up the Layou River. So when that culminates into more than the length of the island, like its sister trail, like the National Trail, we decided to break it up into 14 segments. And it starts in Scott's Head and it ends all the way up north just past Capuchin at the point. So we should note that we're looking at phase 2 of the Sea Trail, and the next year or so would be the full circumnavigation, where we can market that towards advanced kayakers. But we're not quite there yet. We still have a lot of development work on the Sea Trail itself. But
So
it's 14 segments, just like a sister trail with the National Hiking Trail.
So we have 14 segments in the hiking trail in Dominica. And on the sea trail, we have 14 segments as well. So you can choose, guys. We go on land or we go in the water. Or why not just do both? Take the land and then soak in the water and just
That's it.
marry the two and,
That's it. Do it.
and have a
and
wonderful
half.
time, right? Half and
half.
half. Awesome.
Yeah.
And for a beginner, what do you recommend?
Beginners should go with a guide. Yeah. We offer day trips on segments 1 and 2. And we use the sit-on-top kayaks, which most people are more familiar with.
Yes.
And for beginners, that's a great introduction to sea kayaking. They're wider, they have a flatter hull on the bottom, and they're extremely stable. So we definitely recommend that. And we have tandems as well. So if somebody's not a strong paddler, we can match them up with a stronger paddler.
What if you get tired? You start there, you get tired, you want to drink, you want to just...
You rest, you
you
stop.
rest, and we good
Easy.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you see
no
that
pressure.
This is good.
No stress.
And
we're not out here racing. We're just out there to have a good time and enjoy the sea.
And what's
Yeah.
the average length of a tour?
I would say from 2 hours and a half to 3 hours.
So if I'm coming to the Waitakere Sea Trail, I should cater for 2 to 2.5 to 3 hours for a tour.
Yeah,
And I would start in Soufriere at the outdoor center.
definitely.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And my contact would either be Weston or
Carry.
Carrie or Mackie,
Of-
1, 2, or
yeah,
3.
anyone.
And before we end, we'll talk about your contact information. So persons who want to get in contact with you to book their stay, they can do so. But now let's take a little break and then we'll be right back. Yes?
All right.
Need some water.
And we're back. This is Talking Tourism. If you're joining us now, I welcome you to the airways of DBS Radio. My name is Monelle Alexis, and with me in studio is Weston Moses, Carrie Allen, and Mackie Freddie Packett. And we're talking about the Waitikobuli Sea Trail that starts in Soufriere. And if you're now joining us, remember, Waitikobuli Sea Trail 14 segments along the coast of Dominica is actually very safe. It's fun, and it's for the adventurous, the romantic, for those who are confused, for those who just want to try something new. So, give them a shout, and let's go to the Waitikobuli Sea Trail. Yes. And we're back with the team, guys. I know that the Waitikobuli Sea Trail, one person's are going through the adventure. There are many things that they can find or see in the water. What's going on? What has the experience been like for persons? What have they been saying? What have they been seeing? Let's talk.
So, bringing people out, certain times we will come across different species of fish that we have in the sea. Mainly during the flying fish season, when we kayaking, we get dolphins in the Soufriere Bay sometimes, outside Champagne. And then we will have whales, which came into Soufriere Bay, close to the shoreline for half of the day. So people would go out, rent kayaks, go out there. Now we have our different reefs like Scott Z, we bring people to kayak. And then snorkeling Scott Z, where we have our different reefs, but certain times you will take them from Soufriere. In between, we have a lot of dive sites from Soufriere to Champagne. So different dive sites. So what we like, turtles, we have turtles, different reef fish, redfish, all different types of fish. If I have to start to call names, it will be a lot of names, but we have mainly like, I would say parrotfish, yellowtail snappers, schoolmaster snappers, and a lot of sergeant majors. So it's like our reefs are blooming with a lot of different reef fish, even though certain times it's like, for the past few years since I know myself, swimming in the sea and snorkeling, I used to do a little spearfishing, and the way our reef used to be healthy a few years before, slowly but surely, it's coming back. But then it's like
we're facing a few challenges.
Of coral disease. So, but we still have a lot of reef fish.
Yeah.
A lot of reef fish. So
Yeah.
it's like we take people out. They would see yellow sponge coral, sea fans. Sometimes you would see octopus. Then different squids we have.
A lot of different things. It's just a lot of diversity. So Freddie mentioned that we have a series of underwater pinnacles or mountains that are used as dive sites, and very close to the Scottshead area where you have the Atlantic Ocean, basically two bodies of water that get to meet. The level of diversity, it increases because the element of surprise is there, because in the Atlantic, on the Atlantic side, you don't know what you could come across. So on any given day, keep your fingers crossed, and who knows, it doesn't have to be your birthday for you to have a surprise. It's just like there could be a sperm whale just preaching, stuff happens. So that's what nature presents us with, and yeah.
Okay, so that's fantastic. So a tour along the Waitikobuli Sea Trail is not about just taking a cannon, right? A kayak. My God, taking a kayak and going across the water. It's also about looking below at the amazing aquatic life that we have in Dominica. So that kind of brings the whole experience together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So picture this, guys. You're on a kayak, Sunday afternoon, you and your somebody are by yourself. You row in there, you're stopping, you're looking beneath the water, you've seen a sperm whale trying to shoot up. It won't bounce your butt, it might just touch you a little bit.
That's it.
And while you're going through that experience, you're sipping on some wine, you're smiling. If you're tired, you stop. If you want to be pulled, you get pulled and chill. You laugh, you take your selfies, you record your videos, you make your TikTok videos, all the works.
That's
you
right.
do that at the Waitakere Sea Trail right here in Dominica. And I know the price is reasonable because Dominicans are really good with reasonable price activities. So pray tell, what's the cost?
Well, the cost for, we have 2 tours. It's a bit of a tiered system. So like 1 to 3 people is a certain price, 3 to 6, and then 6 to 9 and 9 and above. So it really will range anywhere. And it also ranges, some people just want to kayak, they don't want to snorkel. So kayaking and snorkeling is a little bit more. But on the low end, with a group of people, for a sunset tour or our most basic tour, Soufriere Loop, you're looking at 30, 40 EC per person. Some of the more involved tours, like to Scott's Head and back, and snorkeling, that might be a little bit more. That might be about 100 EC. Now, these are all local rates. So we have special rates for the Dominicans because we really want to encourage people getting out. And in the summertime, we get a lot of business, and we really appreciate their business. Yeah.
And it's offered every day.
We're open Wednesday through Sunday. We're closed Monday and Tuesday, but we can operate by appointment on Monday and Tuesday if need be. Yeah.
So if you have a special activity or adventure, you want to plan something, be it you want to bring your students. What about students and tours with kids?
Yes, we've had all ages come kayaking with us. We've had quite a few schools come down. I can think of one in Grand Bay and a few of the others. I don't recall all their names. We've had Humane Society comes out. We've had a few youth groups. The sunset tour is real popular, especially on people's birthdays. We found, we've had buses come in and 8-10 people do the sunset tour, have some drinks.
Once again, another romantic setting, having a
See,
sunset.
ding dong, look at that.
Yeah.
And we've been listed on the 20 best romantic destinations,
That's
you
it,
know?
that's it.
There we go. And you guys are one of the reasons why we have been listed. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You spoke about the persons and the bustle of person coming to do the tours. Can you tell us about their feedback? What has their feedback been like?
Well, in terms of feedback, initially when we started, we having the different experiences and backgrounds. As I said, we complement each other. Wes can pretty much give you, events that occurred where he probably witnessed something within, let's say, the tourism industry where he didn't feel like maybe that was a professional way to handle a situation. Freddie has had his experiences. I've had mine. What we've heard a lot of people say that pretty much can resonate between the three of us is that we have heard a lot of people say that it was not enjoyable because it felt scripted. It felt like it was just a show, a facade. And Dominica has so much to see, but then if we have the people that are selling the tours and giving the information, and they're not pretty much doing it with passion, they're not doing it, with a lot of love, the people see that and they feel that, and that's why a lot of them go to different neighboring islands. I won't call any names, but and they have said to me about different experiences, and I've realized that it's a trend because when the islands get too commercialized, a lot of people tend to think about the dollar but not the experience of the people. So we focus heavily on that when we first started talking about setting up Soufriere Outdoor Center and having the locals heavily involved. And that's one of the key things. If we could get our very own people from Dominica to enjoy this experience, and they're doing this, and we're in this wholeheartedly, we're showing them our enthusiasm, our excitement, our passion, and then we're sharing this with these people. When they go back, their feedback will pretty much give us all what we need to know to work on. And we started working with our people. And Dominicans, they are very, very, sometimes if you go out there for Dominican don't like that. They'll tell you, hey, I didn't like it, and I'm not coming back. But the fact that people were actually telling us, and they were giving us constructive criticism, and that's what we needed. So it actually helped us work on our product even better. And then that's how we managed to come out with these tours and these different packages. And so far the reviews and remarks that we're getting from people and advice and everything is saying continue. Everybody felt like this was new, it is unique, and the Dominican public definitely needed that, because it's just basically interpretive tours that we offer. So it's more than just coming out there to go and paddle. People actually leave there with a sense of learning a lot more than they pretty much knew about the marine reserve or kayaking and just tourism in general. So that's why I say it's really good that we get to do that.
And I appreciate the fact that you embrace constructive criticism.
Yes.
Because sometimes we don't know. And it's good when persons are free to speak to us. And, sometimes people just talk for talking's sake. Probably they want to hurt you, whatever the case may be. But there are some people who genuinely want to see you grow.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
That's
for those
it.
individuals who offer good advice, then it's important that we listen. And when necessary, we make the different changes to improve our
Exactly.
product. So
Yeah.
good job on that one.
Thank you.
But you mentioned about listening to people giving feedback. What is your community involvement like? Do you give back to the community? Do you go out there to talk about be it tourism? Do you talk about kayaking with the kids? Do you do any social programs?
Yeah, we do quite a bit of outreach in the community. Aside from, sponsoring events, we sponsored the local football team in a community league, and I'm proud to say they won. And not only that, they won in style because they won the best dressed trophy in the beginning. So they did really good. So, but above and beyond that, we participate in a lot of beach cleanups, but we also do a lot of work with the local youth group. There's the church youth group there, and over the summers we've made kayaking available for them one evening a week. We partner with the village council, so on the fun days, just $1 to go kayaking on a fun day. We've got a few of the young guys who help out, and then they can take kayaks out. So I would consider a lot of the work we do with the youth as kind of informal. We don't really have a structured program per se, but they're always hanging out.
Coming to ask, can I go kayaking today?
Yeah, and then we try and work with them, work something out, give them deals, things like that, teach them skills when we do something a little bit more structured and take them out there. And sometimes they'll tag along on tours with us, and the guests actually love it, and the kids they're having a lot of fun with it, and it gives that cultural experience for the guests. So quite a few of them have tagged along on the tours, and we used to take, even before it opened, we used to take a group of young guys out every Saturday, and now 2 of them work for us as guides on the weekend.
Good job.
So then they've done fantastic. They were featured on YouTube. If you look up Kayaking Dominica, there's a show that did 4 series here of the Waitakabuli Sea Trail, and they're featured on one of the series.
That's commendable.
Yeah.
And keep up the good work. Kudos to you
thank
for
you.
that.
Thank
But we're almost done, and I want to touch on Keegan, who was here earlier, last year, November of last year.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, let's talk about your accolades and recognition. You just mentioned that there was this individual who worked with you, was featured on this episode on YouTube. But have you received any other accolades or recognitions for what you've done with the Waitakabuli Sea Trail? And, of course, I will plug in, this is the only sea trail in the region.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the only one in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's very unique in that regard. I think we have a real good blue economy because we have warm waters. A lot of the other sea trails, you have to wear a dry suit and you have to worry about cold water exposure. While here, you can practice rescues, rolls, whatever you like. But we've got a lot of accolades. It started off with Time Magazine in 2023 when Dominica was listed as their #1 greatest places. We were featured along with Coolibri Ridge. I'd taken somebody out from Time Magazine on the sea trail for 2 days in the south, and she absolutely loved it. And then it's kind of snowballed after that. Condé Nast, I think we've been featured twice. BBC, I think Coolest Places, Nat Geo, or BBC might have been Sustainable. Nat Geo was like Coolest Places. Travel and Leisure, I got to take a VP from Travel and Leisure for 2 days up north, so she did a special feature. on that, on her experience, and then we were mentioned again in Travel and Leisure. There's been a few of the kayaking blogs, kayaking sites that it's getting traction in. So the accolades, I think there's probably a few more, but we're pretty shocked that it's gotten the international recognition. We thought, let's start this thing, share the experience with people.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, we
Proud
had no
moment.
idea that would happen. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm really happy for you guys. Based on what we've discussed so far, it really means that this is a one-of-a-kind product, and you have taken your time to ensure that you create the best experience for individuals, be Dominicans and visitors, and you're open to suggestions on how you can improve the product.
Yeah.
So that's extremely commendable. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank
But
you
in
very much.
November 2023, Shannon Keegan embarked on a groundbreaking 66-kilometer swim along the Waitukubuli Sea Trail. I know this was a big deal for you guys. We don't have much time. We want to talk
Yeah.
about it in about 4 minutes. So tell us, what was that experience like?
Honestly, it was awesome. I would say being by her side, and having to feed her every 30 minutes.
You fed every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What did you feed her?
So we had different liquids like energy drinks. We even had some screw containers where she had some chewables
Yeah.
so that her lips wouldn't like crack from the salt. M&Ms, Skittles. So it's like sweet things so she could, have
Maintain
that
the energy.
to continue
Yeah.
swimming. And it's like being by her side for 25 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh my.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I give her 5 stars because she did that, and
Yeah.
I would say I don't believe anyone else could have done that. But
I know.
she was awesome, and the
Yeah.
experience was like just a kayaking the length of Dominica with her while she's swimming. So
Yeah.
Oh wow. Weston, what was that experience like for you?
It was awe-inspiring, and I mean,
Yeah.
Mother Nature was on our side that day. We were out at sea, and we could clear as day see Martinique and Guadeloupe. And Waitukubuli,
Yeah,
Dominica
yeah,
was
that's
just in all her glory that day, just rising out of the sea, nice and green, and then just watching her
swim.
is just nonstop for 25 hours.
We
it's
even had-
it's incredible.
It even had dolphins that
Yeah.
came and swim around her up and down, like curious, checking to see like.
What's
If
going
she's
on?
okay.
Is
Yeah.
this one of
Yeah,
us?
this
Is
is
this one of
person.
us?
Yeah.
And
So
she,
the experience was amazing, honestly, to tell you.
Nice.
It was amazing just to see someone swimming for that long time. And it's like a bit scared for her because before that we watched a documentary where a woman swam from, I think, Miami to, where she swam?
Cuba, yeah.
Cuba to Miami.
Mhm.
And she tried it 4 times and she failed. And the 5th attempt, she did that. She got stung by jellyfish.
Dang.
Just thinking about jellyfish, it's not me that was in the water, but I was scared. I was scared for a bit. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, she was fine and amazing.
And what about you, Freddie?
Kerry? Well, to be honest, I wasn't here for that. That was very, very hurtful. But I had to. I'm being honest. It was hurtful. I couldn't be a part of this one. But then I felt good, just looking at it and keeping track. Wes sent me a few links. So I saw the progress of everything. And I was just rooting for everybody. And they were all able to do it. It wasn't just Shannon. It was a collective effort from everybody. Including the people that were on the kayaks, the camera people, everybody that helped out, and it just inspired me to even be more aware of the direction that we're pretty much going in the future, and that would pretty much lead me into a segue to say that the future plans that we have, when you mention all of the things about romantic places to visit. We have some tours that we're going to, put together soon, which will actually be more exclusive and help build more relationships between couples as well. We'll have tours that are going to incorporate more education within the young people. We're going to try to do a lot more partnering with different groups as well. So the avenue is wide, it's very open, and then we're just looking forward to that. So if I wasn't there for Shannon, I will be there for the next one.
Oh, look at you feeling left out.
And stay tuned because we have
Awesome.
someone interested in crossing the Martinique Channel, but it hasn't been. We haven't secured that yet. So if not this summer, maybe the next summer we'll see another swim challenge here in Dominica.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's commendable. So you just spoke about what's going to be happening with you guys moving forward.
Yeah.
People need to know where to find you, how to
Exactly.
contact you. So while you're advancing into other amazing things, and as you serve all these fantastic adventures, we need to keep in touch. So let's go. Social media, what's your handles? How can we find you? Where can we find you?
Okay, on Instagram it's at Soufriere Outdoor Center. Center is spelled CENTRE. Yeah, so that's us on Instagram. And WhatsApp 616-4848. So that's 616-4848. And we can send a list of all of our tours, promotional materials, everything by WhatsApp. And our website is soc-dom.com.
soc-dom.com.
Yeah, and that has a lot of information on all of our tours and the Waitukubuli Sea Trail. Right now, it's the only online guide to the Sea Trail. We're working with the ministry to build the capacity so the ministry can host one. But right now, that's the main area for the Sea Trail.
And if we're searching for you, do we search Waitukubuli Sea Trail or do we search Soufriere Outdoor Center?
Both will take you there.
Both will take you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an option. You search online, Soufriere Outdoor Center or Waitukubuli Sea Trail. You find a contact number, you call, and you book.
Yes.
Or you call 616-4848. Somebody will answer, and they provide you with all the details, book the adventure, you come, and you have a fantastic time. Got it right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. Let's take a pause for a few seconds and then we'll be right back. This is Talking Tourism and we're talking about the Waitukubuli Sea Trail in the Commonwealth of Dominica. My favorite place, yes?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's about time that we wrap up for this Talking Tourism program right here on DBS Radio. It's almost, it's just about 11 o'clock, guys. It's our time to say good BYE, goodbye. But before that, any final words before we say good morning to our listeners and viewers?
Any final words, guys?
Final words, yes.
Well, for me, let me make it brief. I would just like to encourage all Dominicans to go out there and explore our beautiful island. We have so many areas that are still, there to explore, and people are just a little bit timid. Some people are not too confident in themselves and their abilities. But we at Soufriere Outdoor Center, as I mentioned to everyone, we have a staff that is dedicated to providing you with the safest and the best experience when it comes to our tours. And we definitely would like everyone to experience this. So just come out, contact us, reach out, and basically come and have a great time and pretty much learn a lot more that this beautiful island has to offer. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Weston, 30 seconds. We got to leave the
30
studio.
seconds?
Yes.
My message is for those people of you who can't swim, maybe afraid of the sea, come. Can't swim? Don't worry. Well, you're in good hands. You'll fall in love with the sea.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come at the center, we ensure safety first, so don't be scared, people.
Yeah,
Come
man.
out and kayak with the Soufriere Outdoor Center.
And let's take Dominica to the next level.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like that. Come out and kayak at the Soufriere Outdoor Center. And let's take Dominica to the next level.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys, it's about time that I wrap up for this another Talking Tourism right here on DBS Radio. It has been my absolute pleasure being in your company. I do hope that you have a fantastic Wednesday. If you haven't visited Dominica, I encourage you to come to the Nature Island. And when you're here, remember, respect yourself, respect our people, respect our environment, and ensure you have FUN. Have fun. Yes.
Yeah.
And my name is Monelle Alexis. It has been my pleasure, and I'll see you next week, Wednesday, rather the last Wednesday of the month, because the next Wednesday there's a funeral service that will be carried live. So I'll be back in the studio with you on the last Wednesday of the month to continue with Talking Tourism. And until then, those of you in Radio Land, those of you on social media, those of you wherever, do continue to have a fantastic day. Good morning.
Yeah.